Good evening, YouTube. Hardball Crazy here, coming back with a video today with a epic mail day video. I've been looking for one of these cards of one of the players for the longest time. Yes, I got my first ever Black Sox item. It's not really a card though. I prefer a card, but I'd rather have something a little better condition. I'll explain in a minute. But first, I got another mail day card that came in the mail too. Both these came in last Tuesday. And this one adds to my Hall of Fame collection. This is my Hall of Famer now 197 from the playing days / manager days plus executive days, active days, I guess. Hall of Famer. So this is number 197. Mostly known as a Chicago Cub, but this is a Brooklyn Dodger item. Mr. Hack Wilson. Old Matchbox cover of Mr. Wilson. Of course, he's famous for having the record for the most RBIs in the season at 190 or 191. I can't know exactly what the final number is because one was added, or I think after researchers did their job. But this is my first Hack Wilson card, Diamond Match book from 1934. These are cool little items, much more affordable than the traditional Gaudis and other cards. If you're looking for affordable, cool, colorful items from pre-war for Hall of Famers and such, I would go for the Diamond Match books. This is like my fourth one, I believe. I had just bought another one last night on eBay, so I'll have a fifth one coming in the mail probably sometime next week. It's a rather cool item, a cool card, cool player, but more on that later. But as you tell my title, I got my first Black Sox. Been looking for one for a while, and I kind of focused on one player because they're all ultra expensive. And Eddie Cicotte is the most available player because he was the most established player by the time the 1919 World Series came around, not named Shoes Joe Jackson. He pretty much put up Hall of Fame numbers. So he has been a lot of cards from the old T206s and T205s and old caramel cards. He's in a lot of sets in the up till 1919, so his cards are pretty available. Therefore, his cards are more affordable because there's many of them. Even some guys like the Swede Riesbergs and the Fred McMullins, who you think are more common players, but they have very few cards, and their cards are ultra expensive. Of course, Shoeless Joe Jackson, being the most famous and iconic name of them all, is the most expensive, and Buck Weaver isn't cheap either. So I've got Eddie Cicotte. Show you the item first, but I'm going to kind of show you my first three other cards from the 1919 World Series White Sox. These are the Clean Sox, as they were known back in the day. This is my Ray Schalk. And Urban Red Faber. He was on the 1919 World Series White Sox team, but did not participate in the World Series because of he got illness, so he did not participate. And of course, the most famous of all the Clean Sox would be Eddie Collins, Hall of Famer, and both of these players, Schalk, Faber, and Collins, are in the Hall of Fame. I do have two cards from of the Cincinnati Reds, but maybe I'll do a 1919 World Series showcase at a later date. But those are my three Clean Sox. And what Eddie Cicotte card did I get? Well, it's not actually a card. It's 1910 and 1912 Sweet Caparel pins. PSA 7. These things are super tiny. I didn't realize how tiny they were. But I was looking at cards, and about the same price range I could get like a T205 or so. Any other cards, and more of even in the graded condition of a PSA or SGC 1, they're rather in a beater condition. So I'd rather get something that's in a nicer condition item that's of the player. So I got Eddie Cicotte here. I had tried to get my mind wrapped around or open my mind and not just getting cards, get pins and other things. Um, so this is my ADC cot, my first Black Sox item. I'm surprised how super tiny it is. There's some variations of the set. There's over 100 of these, I believe, maybe close to 200. Uh, Cap roll pins. There's some variations within the set with the amount of how big or small the letters are. But this is my first Black Sox card of Mr. Eddie Cicotte, first player of 8 Black Sox. So there you have. That's my epic mail day. Ideally, I kind of wanted this. Of course, I wanted a White Sox card of them. There's some M101 cards, 19 teens of them, but they're harder to find. You rarely see those. But I kind of wanted a T207 card of them, the brown border set, because the back of it mentions he was once a Detroit Tiger. And there's no other card really mentions that he's a Tiger prospect. Kind of cool for me, my Tiger fandom, but anyways, I'm very happy getting finally a Black Sox card in my collection. Another note about these two, Hack Wilson and Eddie Cicotte, is that this is 98 and 99 item card piece of memorabilia collectible that's pre-war for me. I have now 99 pre-war cards in my collection, pre-World War II. But I got 100th one item today. I got 2 more coming in the mail soon after that. So I'm kind of plugging along on my pre-war stuff since I can't buy packs anymore because I can't find them. I'm not going to go to my hobby shop and overpay for retail blasters. That's against my ethics, I guess you can call it. So, and all the modern day cards of today's stars, the Kunis, Sotos, and Trouts, and Otanis, and Guerreros, and everybody else is super expensive. Even my Miggies are getting a little, can't get them on the cheap anymore because he's reached a couple milestones. People start picking him up. I was able to pick his cards up dirt cheap the last few years. People forgot about him because he's played some of my crappy Detroit Tigers ball clubs and he's been hurt and hasn't put up big numbers. But his cards are picking up. I do have a Mickey card coming in the mail. But I've been concentrating on older cards and sort of even on the non-Hall of Famers. I see somebody who's made an impact on the game, who's known in the sport that maybe not a Hall of Fame, but just as I don't have think of a name, I kind of go after that name and find a card of that person that's in the world, in the collection, and say, okay, I don't have a card of him, and just have a piece of this card of him in my collection. So that's kind of what I kind of focus on. I do kind of search for Hall of Famers. There's some other All-Stars in the day, and it's like we're known and made impacts. I'm kind of going after those guys too. So I hope you enjoy the video. We have a next video is my 100th pre-war card, and I got it. I think it's the most comparable to an iconic basketball card from yesteryear. I guess you call it borderline vintage because I guess you call it vintage now. But anyway, that's more for the next video. Hope you all have a good evening and stay safe, and thank you for watching.